Welcome to the Marketing Stat Podcast, and on this podcast, I'm going to be talking about how email marketing and why email marketing is so important in your healthcare business. Whether you're a functional medicine doctor, whether you're a nutritionist, whether you're a health coach, email marketing is something that is here to stay. It's the thing that basically leveraged the internet right in the beginning when the internet started. In this episode, I talk about where email actually started, what the foundation of email was, and how messages have evolved into becoming this huge email marketing opportunity. And, if you're listening to this podcast on whatever platform, whatever device, consider hitting the follow button, consider hitting the subscription, or subscribing to the podcast so that you can be notified of future episodes that come out. And I'm building a library of these episodes to help you with your business, help you leverage use the internet, leverage email marketing, leverage all the digital tools that we have to build your practice, to give you time freedom in your practice, to build systems for your practice so that you can ultimately do the thing that you really want to do, which is help in various different ways. Or maybe you just want to be selfish and relax. Maybe you want your business to run on autopilot so that you can actually have other people do things in your business where you can still be credited with helping them in the way that Bill Gates or some of these other people have been able to do. I've spoken to a bunch of doctors, naturopathy, functional medicine, chiropractors, dentists. They're struggling with this concept of email marketing. A lot of them don't have it built in. A lot of them are collecting email addresses. They've got webinars going on. They've got all these external things going on to promote their business. They're running Facebook ads, lead ads. They're running all of these things, but they're not leveraging email marketing to the best of its ability. And so what I want to do is, in this video, cover why email marketing is important for a medical practice. So before I get into why email marketing is important, I want to go back a little bit. I want to take a back step. I want to go back, back to the future. No, I don't want to go forward. I want to go backwards into the past, and I want to talk about how communication used to happen in the past. So if you're if you're at a certain age group where you remember some of these things, definitely comment below and let me know what your experience is with these things. But I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, before the internet started, and I'm giving my age away here, but before the internet was around, we used to use direct mail, we used to use classified ads, we used to use newspaper ads, we used to use magazine ads to attract the clients that we wanted to our businesses. And this obviously doesn't only apply to healthcare professionals, it applies to everybody. And of course there's billboards and there's all of these other things that we did as well in terms of outside, right? One of the most common things is, if you have a medical practice, you've got to put your logo and you've got to put your branding on the building or on your office so that you can get people to notice your practice. You've got to give it a good name, you've got to give it a nice color, a good logo, paint the building, like whatever it is. That's what you relied on, right? And then the yellow pages then became available, and so you started posting, or you had to pay for an ad in the yellow pages so that you could actually, when people search through the yellow pages looking for whatever they were looking for, that they could find these businesses. And so then it was a phone call. They would phone the practice and book an appointment, and then they'd go into the sales process. We relied on fax, right? The way we used to communicate with our suppliers, specifically, as a medical practice, maybe you placed orders via fax, or maybe people would fax you stuff, fax you information. Maybe you got articles from publications via fax. Maybe they posted you stuff in the mail, white papers or updates, or these type of things. You had to subscribe to newsletters, and those newsletters were physically printed and posted to you. Maybe you subscribed to a magazine that was exclusive to your industry. Maybe because of your practice, because of maybe your specialization, you subscribed to this thing and your university sent you updates, or you had to go to meetings to actually update yourself. And that still exists, however it's happening online now. And there were vast amounts of communication that used to come to you physically. These days, though, people are sending stuff via email. They're finding ways to quickly and easily email you the information that you need. Or they're posting updates on their websites. Or they're posting updates on their Facebook pages. Or they're posting updates on other platforms, forums and whatnot to notify you or to notify your clients, your customers, right? You're maybe posting blog posts, maybe you're posting on Facebook. This is just the way that the internet has changed our level of communication, and most importantly, our level of distribution. And specifically email, it actually caters for some of the needs that we have. One is, to actually write out a letter to each and every one of your clients. Let's say you had a program and you had to physically write out a letter, and you had 100 people in your program, in your practice, and you had to physically write out this letter every single month to let people know what their health regimen should be. Maybe you're prescribing a specific meal plan, and now you have to sit out and write. Maybe you didn't have a typewriter, maybe you didn't have a computer, maybe you didn't have a fax machine. This is how you would do it, right? You'd write a letter, put it in the post, you'd walk it to the post office, and the mailman would go and deliver that letter. Maybe take a couple of days or a week or month to get to that person, but then you'd have to plan ahead, and you'd have to be organized in getting that letter to arrive at the person's place. And so then you had to collect their email address, you had to collect their physical address and then pay for postage and spend the time to write it out, all of these things. And so it was time consuming and it used to take a lot of effort. Or maybe you used a Xerox and you actually printed things out. Then you had to get them mailed. Maybe you had somebody working in your practice, and so you had them actually go through the administration process of putting those letters into envelopes, printing or writing out the name and addresses, and then physically posting. I remember those days. But what the internet has done and what email marketing has done is it's given us time. It's given us the ability to mass produce, to mass message people with personalization. So we can still personalize the messages based on our clients' needs, based on what our clients require, in a way that we've never been able to do before. Obviously, email marketing has been around for a while, but the tools around email marketing are becoming more and more sophisticated. What does that mean for you? Now, if you're not using email, you're relying on other forms of communication. And so what that means is that if you're using a Facebook group to communicate with your clients, then you're subject to Facebook's rules. You're subject to that platform either being available or not. You're subject to Facebook maybe shutting down your Facebook group because of terms of service. You don't know if Facebook is going to be around tomorrow. Neither do your clients. But we're relying on these sources, on these platforms for free, to be able to communicate our message, right? Maybe your website, you're relying on your clients coming to your website to get the updates. And then when they don't and they communicate with you, you're like, oh, but I posted that on my website. Like, well, I didn't know. So email or letters or faxes used to give the ability for us to communicate with people in quantity. And email marketing is specifically tailored for that. It gives us an ability to personalize messages to multiple people, hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe millions of people at a time, in a very short, doesn't take a lot of effort to actually get those messages out to your people. And so this is why digital marketing has become such a big industry, is because of the time savings it gives you. And the fear around digital marketing is that you don't know how to use the internet. You don't know how to use the platform. Maybe you've got a ConvertKit account or you've got an ActiveCampaign account, but you just don't know how to use it. And I gave this example to a client that I was speaking to on the phone the other day, where I said to him that, if you're a doctor, or maybe you're an aspiring doctor. Back in the day when you were an aspiring doctor, you knew that you wanted to be a doctor and you wanted to help people. You had to go to university to learn that skill. You had to go practice. You had to meet clients. You had to maybe do an internship. You had to do all of these things, spend the time, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, however long it's taken you to build that skill. And email marketing or digital marketing or using these tools on the internet, using your computer, using your iPad, using your phone, these are all the same principles that you have to apply. They may not be as complex as learning biological functions in a human being, and you don't have to understand how the phone works. You don't have to understand how the software works. You don't have to understand how your computer works. But all you need to do is learn to learn and understand and follow a process of clicking a certain number of buttons and looking for the buttons on the screen, reading the information that's in front of you so that you can follow the process that the software gives you so that you can actually get your emails out to your people. And so as you send one email, send two emails, send three emails, campaign emails to your people, you start getting used to that process. And so now you can do it on your own. You don't have to rely on customer support. You don't have to rely on somebody else. You can do that on your own. Or maybe you educate somebody in your clinic to actually do that. Or maybe you contact somebody like me to educate you on how to do that. All of those options are available. But just like learning any other skill, digital marketing is a skill. Using a computer is a skill that you can develop, that you can do over time. The other advantage of using email marketing, apart from just saving you time, is the cost associated. The relative cost to send an email to 1,000 people versus printing that letter out, personalizing it, and posting it is vastly different. It's ridiculously cheap to send email out. In fact, some people would argue that it's near free. So apart from time, you're going to save money in sending your emails and sending your message out to people. And so one of the things that I had in my business, or one of the things that I realized when I was learning this digital marketing stuff a good 5-6 years ago, was this ability to not only personalize the messages to a vast number of people, but also to segment people depending on what their interest is, or depending on what they were in your business for. So let's say, example, you have 1,000 patients, and maybe you have a fairly large practice. And so for people who have a certain condition, or maybe you're treating them for diabetes versus treating somebody for, I don't know, some other issue that they have or some other problem they have, you can personalize their messages based on that thing. Now, obviously, HIPAA compliance, and a lot of the platforms that I work with are actually HIPAA compliant out the box. So when you're messaging them and you're talking specifically to them about their problems, or talking to their problems to them, you can personalize those messages based on that segmentation. Whereas in the past, if you printed all your letters out and you personalized, you had to be organized in a physical way so that you can tailor that message to each person. That is available online as well. It's a little bit more complicated than what I just said, but it is possible to do that. And that's where the power of personalization and customer service comes in, because as you're speaking to these people about their specific problems, no longer are you just sending a newsletter to your entire list about a certain thing that you've spoken about on your blog to let them know that you've written about this thing. Now you say, hey, I've written a blog post about diabetes, and you send that to all your diabetes patients or to all your leads who have indicated that they are looking at the diabetes aspect of living. That's powerful, and that's what real marketing is about. Personalizing the message to get in front of those people, and that differentiates you, because when you're speaking specifically in a unique voice to the people based on their specific problem, now you end up building more trust, you're building more of a relationship with them, and then people become clients of yours. You get to help them with their problem. One of the other things about email marketing is you can go paperless. So as we're becoming more eco-friendly and we're being more conscious about the environment and how we're utilizing the resources in the world, email marketing helps you reduce your costs, your paper costs. Going digital reduces your paper costs, because now you can store vast amount of information on your computer, on your servers, on the cloud, and emailing people in bulk. No longer do you need thousands of envelopes, thousands of printed addresses, thousands of letters, thousands of pages printed, or thousands of brochures. You can send your brochures out via email without spending that money on the physical aspect. You may not eliminate the physical printing of certain things, but you can definitely save on money and save the planet when it comes to communicating your message to people. And that's the biggest draw card, I would say, with email marketing, with digital marketing, with social media marketing, with content. It's the ability to distribute your message to thousands of people at a time. That's the real power, and that's where the real leverage comes to your business and to the ability that you bring your people. I think that covers a lot of why email marketing is valuable. I haven't spoken about list building and how to actually build your email marketing campaign, how to fill that thing up with leads, and how to make sales from your email marketing. Of course, you can make sales from email marketing, and thousands of people are doing it. And you can do that in your practice to try to get more patients to convert. I haven't specifically spoken about that, but that is a major benefit of email marketing, because you can market yourself to so many people. That is possible. And so, that's a topic of a whole nother day, how to sell on email marketing. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you can actually see that video when it comes out. But I want to help you build your business and create efficiencies in your business so that you can become the CEO of your business, where you utilize all these digital tools, all the digital marketing, all the knowledge and the experience that you have in speaking to your clients one-on-one, and bring it online so that you can actually speak to more people, help more people, and just make a greater impact in the world, with the selfish goal of just utilizing more time or having more time for yourself, for your family, for the things that are important to you. So if you can, get that magic trick, or have that magic trick for you, where you're actually making money, making good money, where you have systems in place, where the business is functioning almost on autopilot without you, and you focus on elevating your profile so that you start working on some more important, maybe bigger projects. Maybe you start working on more humanitarian level rather than just a patient-to-patient level. That's what I ultimately want to help you with. And if that's something that's of interest to you, consider subscribing. Comment below if that's something that you want, or visit my website at burhanpatel.com and book a call with me. With that being said, thank you so much for listening and watching the video, watching me talk about email marketing and how it can help you in your business and why it's important in your business. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Consider subscribing and following along depending on where you're listening to this episode. And if you have any questions, visit me on burhanpatel.com, and I will catch you on the next episode. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one.